I made some changes to my own diet, and I found that the one thing I was missing was ice cream. So that's when I started kind of making it for myself. And my friends liked it, my family liked it, and it just grew from there really. By early 2014, I was like, you know what, there's something in this. I knew I wanted to start my own business, and that was like the seed that got planted really. Yeah, projecting growth, well, it's a bit of an art really. A little bit is just instinct, a little bit is actual orders and prospects on the horizon, and a little bit is like how far can we push ourselves.
Hi, I'm Mark Barrett and I'm the Financial Controller of Gentrack UK, a software company in the energy sector. I'm a Sage business expert and I write blogs and make videos for Sage, giving good advice to smart businesses around the world. Something you're going to be asked about is, are you projecting growth, or how are you projecting growth, or what is your projected growth? And you might sit there and a little bit dumbfounded and go, well, I don't know the answer to any of those questions. It is something you should consider though, so I think you should get a little bit of advice and get a little bit under your belt in how am I going to project growth and why should I project growth. In the simplest terms, growth means more profit. So you need more revenue to generate that. You maybe need to look at your costs so they don't run away with you. How do you achieve more revenue? You have to have more customers, more people buying your products or services as well. But fundamentally, to me, growth is more profit. You should project the growth so that you can forward plan where your business is going to be. Think of it as your roadmap of where you are now, where you want to be in a year, 2 years, maybe up to 5 years. And it's that plan of how you're going to achieve those outcomes and how you're going to grow and be a successful business. A good way to start with projecting growth is based upon your business plan. This is where I am, this is what I'm going to do, these are the people I'm going to sell to, this is how I'm going to sell, and this is the market that I think is open to me, that this is where the growth can come from. And that may just be more people purchase, more towns purchase, maybe you're going to go countrywide, Europe-wide, or global. But you need to have that plan there, as we call your roadmap, and you're going to take that from now to 6 months, to 12 months, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years. Sometimes it's quite difficult to project growth because you're breaking into a new market. You might even be creating a new market. So there is no model that sets out how quickly you're going to grow and how far you're going to grow. If you think when Apple introduced the iPod, they didn't really have an awful lot of understanding, I don't think, as to how big it would actually get. But whatever you do, make sure that you understand your market. So understand historic trends, current trends, any technologies that are coming to play in your market that you can maybe leverage or are going to affect your business. And so ultimately you want to be informed. If you were, say, you're a manufacturer of dairy-free ice cream and you're supplying supermarkets, what's your growth going to be? Because you need to know your growth so you can forward plan your staffing, your capacity, what raw goods you're going to have to buy in, your packaging, so that you can deliver to the supermarkets and the demands they're going to place upon you. And what I suggest in those circumstances is that you access their market research so that you can find out what their expected outcomes are going to be in 6 months to 12 months and piggyback on their information. If you're in the lucky position that you find yourself in a fast growth scenario, where you're achieving a lot of growth very quickly, do consider that you have to fund that growth, and it might put a lot of pressure on your business. So having your projection, what growth is going to cost you. So if growth starts outstripping your plan, make sure you've got the funding in place to be able to achieve this growth.
For us, it can't be an exact science, but we make it as exact as possible. We base everything on the contracts we've already got and the contracts that we've got coming down the line, because that we know they're the certainties. But then, of course, we look at all the market and we look at there's so much growth in this industry at the minute, in this market. Dairy-free ice cream is just booming. There's so much potential basically. So that in our growth forecast as well.
What to remember is when you're projecting growth, it is just an estimate. It's your best guess of where you think you're going to be. So be flexible, be willing to change your plan, be willing to stop things that aren't working and start things that are working, and rerun your growth plan. You don't have to stick with it just because you've started with it.
And then, yeah, as I say, then there's a bit of instinct. It's a bit like, you know what, I just really feel like we're getting really good momentum and we're getting really good feedback. We're getting somewhere with the product now, and that has to factor into the growth a bit. Then you have to stretch yourself on top of that. So, you know, as I say, it's not an exact science, but it's as exact as we can make it. So we feel pretty confident about it.